welcome back to the Next Gen Retroman podcast. This is going to be our post PAX South 2020 show. Gonna do a quick rundown of all the cool stuff we saw, talk about some of the games, tabletop and video based, and just some other cool stuff that we saw. So before we do that, I'm Ryan.
I'm Adrian.
And I'm Jason.
Jason.
Yes.
What have you been up to other than PAX South?
Very, very minimal Titanfall 2 with Ryan, and just driving 15 hours to and from PAX South. So that was a long trip, and playing some D&D with some people, introducing them to their first session.
Yeah.
What people?
Oh, you guys.
What do you
I played
mean,
D&D
you
with
people?
y'all. What do you mean, you people?
No, I said what people.
I know.
Yeah. It's a
Womp womp. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I'm in the process. We recorded the whole session audio-wise, and I'm going to start the process of going through all the recording and editing it out and releasing that either episodic or all at once coming up soon as kind of a Next Gen Retroman special. So
What'd y'all think?
me. It was awesome.
I had a blast.
Yeah, it was kind of what I expected and hoped it to be, but I'm glad the rest of my family, my daughter and wife also played. I'm glad they enjoyed it as much as I did. So.
Yeah, my wife was me, my wife and I, and then Jason came down and DM'd.
Yep.
It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all liked it.
Other than that, we actually watched Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith today as a family, and...
For your wife's first time?
Yeah, my wife's first time, my second time. Everyone's first time other than me. I forgot that even, I looked back much more fondly on that movie than I should have. I guess just because it was it was better than the other ones, but not by much.
Still kind of cringy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's the pace of it's wrong, and George Lucas can't write dialogue. The whole movie is just Ewan McGregor trying so hard. Anyways, I've been watching the Clone Wars cartoon, and I've been playing a lot more Titanfall 2 than Jason. I got hooked on that again, but I'm about to jump back to Sekiro and finish that up.
That's
you,
good.
Adrian?
I was knocked out this past week with the flu. First flu I had in 3 years, so that sucked.
Yep.
I did have a Switch with me, and I was like, yes, okay, I'm going to miss work, and I'm just going to lay in bed and then play Switch. And, no. It was a solid, 48 hours of just out of it. So,
Cool.
yeah, it sucked on so many levels. Also, my wife's birthday was during that time, so, we have to reschedule plans that we had. It's just been kind of a shitty mess.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
My wife's birthday. Also, the little car demon hit us hard. Came out of nowhere. I thought everything was fine. The garbage truck ran into the canopy in our apartment parking lot and knocked the whole thing down, crushing 4 cars. And the tallest car was mine. So it took the brunt of the damage of this whole thing just smashing it. So I gotta deal with that.
You must have made someone really mad in your past life for all this bad karma.
Shut up. Shut up.
Other than shitty flu and shitty cars, I did manage to play Mega Man for a little bit. 1 through 4.
Mega Man or Mega Man X?
Mega Man.
Okay.
Which one's your favorite?
Out of all Mega Man?
All those 4.
All those 4? I would have to say 2, because it just kind of hits you the hardest, nostalgia-wise.
It's the music.
Yeah, definitely the music. We'll get more into that later.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually saw Endgame for the second time. First time was opening weekend at the theater, and then I kind of saved it for a little bit because I wanted to kind of see it again new. I actually saw it again about a week ago. It started late, so I'm glad that my wife went to bed because I was like tearing up at the end. It's still a great movie. It's just awesome.
Does it hold up to Rise of Skywalker for finishing a saga?
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. I don't want to go into that again.
You just
Do I?
Kicking it while it's down.
Yeah. What about? Well, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Gonna hop into news real quick. Few things. Not gonna go too in depth on all of them, just because we got a bunch to talk about. Byleth. Well, do you know how to pronounce that? Whatever. Byleth. All right. From Fire Emblem Three Houses, the newest one is the 5th DLC fighter for Smash Ultimate. So.
Should we have seen that coming? In all honesty, though.
Who are you looking forward to?
My thing is just that series is overrepresented.
Yeah.
They were teasing Dante hard.
I just think there was two
Capcom
tweets.
Was.
Well, I think Capcom was just saying there's going to be Devil May Cry news, and it just so happened to be the same day as that. I don't know. And I think that got everyone's hopes up.
But Byleth's fighting style is freaking Dante, too, so that's even funnier.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It was just kind of a disappointment. Hopefully the next 6 are better, because they announced a second fighter pass that'll have 6 characters in it through like 2022 or something.
Is it one that you're like really looking for? Like not looking forward, but like kind of hope, like a dream list? Yeah.
I mean, like,
we need another sword fighter.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, there's just so many of the sword fighters now. I would go with like over that. I would do like Robo or someone that might be a little bit more.
Magus. Magus be
cool. Yeah, just someone that's just a different. Basically, just someone from Chrono Trigger and that. I don't know. Like,
except Marl. Don't give me Marl.
She was cool. Anyways, but the funny thing is, like, any other characters that I think of, like, have swords and stuff, like Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden.
Doom Guy would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, but at this point, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I heard Gino's kind of like a...
I would be super down for Gino, but, you know. The other big news, video game delays are just coming left and right. Biggest one, in my opinion, is Cyberpunk 2077. Was delayed to September 17th of this year. And we'll see if it even gets pushed back further.
See, these delays, it sucks, but like I'm glad that they delay, because I don't want, like, here it is, and then like it's like a half-assed game kind of thing.
I'm with you. Like I'm not really annoyed by any of these for the most part.
Like Metroid Prime 4, I'm like, okay.
Well, that guy like completely.
Yeah, like, but like also like okay, it's if they're gonna completely redo it and start from scratch, like okay, then I don't want that shitty version that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like,
stay with it.
I think was it Miyamoto that said it, that a delayed game like can be good and a rush game is always bad, or that quote is completely wrong.
This is why Blizzard never announces like release dates until it's pretty much almost done.
Yeah. Except for Diablo Mobile. The other one.
They never announced a release date on it.
I know. I'm just being a jackass. Final Fantasy VII Remake was delayed April 10th, 2020. Just a few weeks. Nothing huge, but cool. That gives that game some room to breathe around Doom and all the rest of those around there. And then the Avengers game was delayed to September 4th, 2020, which was announced before Cyberpunk, and now it's like within 2 weeks of Cyberpunk, so I just don't have a good feeling about that game's chances now, like even more. I'm glad they delayed it, like make it good, do everything.
It's a very different game. It's going to be a very different game, though. Like, Avengers is going to be that, like, Destiny type game where Cyberpunk's your Red Dead for the...
But that's what I mean. Like, all the hype is going to go towards Cyberpunk. Like,
it depends on if it has, like, if it has Destiny-style play where I can log on, knock something out for, like, 20 minutes, it may be my go-to above Cyberpunk.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You get what I mean.
Industry-wise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's Cyberpunk's gonna be everyone's baby. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough of news, and we will now transition to Penny Arcade Expo South. This was the 6th year, right? Yeah.
5th. Wait.
No, 6.
15.
I don't know. This is my first one.
26.
Yeah, it was the 6th year. I've gone all 6 years. I've had a blast. It's changed like every year a little bit different, and it's kind of gotten smaller and like larger in other different ways. So, some like this year was a little different. There were some booths that were always there, like Fangamer. I love all of their merch is great. What wasn't there? The arcade that
it's like a staple.
Yeah, an arcade that's been there every year. I think the first 5 years wasn't there. I know the guy that runs it, and he was there with like his kids this year, like not really running it, and I totally understand that, and that's awesome. Also, his son got 4th place at the Fortnite Pro-Am. He got so.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, Texas Gamers Lounge represent.
God, I'm trash at Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm so
Me
bad.
too. I said me too. I've never actually played it.
Anything online and shooting, I'm just not even gonna try.
No, I can't. I'm not ADD enough to build in that game.
The first game so I'm going to talk about like the video games, and then we'll each kind of take a section of PAX South. A big part of it is the video games and the tabletop games, and it's kind of skewed more towards tabletop every year, which I think is kind of starting to be its niche, which I'm cool with because I'm totally into tabletop a lot more now than I used to be. But the first game I want to talk about is Speaking Simulator. It's done by Affable Games. It's coming out on January 30th of this year for PC and Switch. It's very similar to like Surgeon Simulator or Job Simulator. It has a story where you're a robot that's trying to infiltrate and destroy the human race, and you do this by having conversations with people. The left thumbstick controls your tongue, and there's like 3 sensors in your mouth that coincide with different sounds that you make when you talk normally. The right thumbstick controls the up and down movement of your jaw, and the left and right movement of your lips, like pursing your lips or kind of opening your mouth like sideways, like smiling and stuff.
It's a little creepy, but
it's creepy. But like as you talk and the worse you do, like smoke starts coming out of your nose, and like your eyes can explode and stuff. It's just, but like the demo they had is you're on a date and this girl's like flirting with you and you're
smoking.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I had a blast playing it. Ben played it with me, actually, my son, and he laughed at it. And the thing that was like really kind of cool, when you finish the demo, they give you a sticker that says like 100% actual human, and then a tooth in a jar. Because you like knock your teeth out with your tongue while you're talking in the game. So there's like I don't know if it's real or not, but there's just a tooth in a little jar at my house now.
I hope it's not.
I do. It's kind of cool.
Where do you get these teeth?
So I know y'all saw it on the show floor. What was your impression of it? I know you didn't play it.
I played it.
Oh, you did?
I didn't get to play it. Yeah. My wife does speech. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. My wife studied linguistics in grad school, so like that was like right up her alley. She didn't really get to play it though.
Oh, it was funny. Anyways, yeah,
yeah,
it's thick.
No, it just made me very like while I was playing it, I was like, wait, now I feel very uncomfortable about how I talk.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get that so much, but it was. I mean, it's the mechanics of talking is really all it is.
As a person with a natural lisp, I was just trying to make sure that he pressed his tongue to his teeth more often.
You have a lisp?
Yeah, I have a lisp.
I've never noticed it. Way to go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Press
Now you're
that
gonna hear
tongue
it.
against those teeth. Anyways, moving on. A game that was there that I was excited to see, it was at the 3D Realms booth, was Ghost Runner. It was maybe announced, I believe, at Gamescom earlier in 2019. It's being made by All In Games. Doesn't have a release date, just this year, 2020. For right now, it looks like just to be PC, but I believe it has been confirmed that there will be a PS4, Xbox One, and Switch version of it. Really cool game, very Mirror's Edge, Titanfall 2, Dishonored style game mechanics, set in like a cyberpunk universe. Down for all of that. It was being played on on PC, so I'm very not good with WASD keyboard mouse controls, so it was hard for me to control it, and the game, unfortunately for me, crashed. It was a very early build of the game.
Yeah, for me too.
So, and I know, Jason, you had a bug.
I had a bug where I had to hold the mouse buttons in order to move, like, my vision. Like, you know how you move your mouse and you look around? I had to hold the buttons down in order to do that. So in order to grapple, which you had to hold you had to click the right one, I couldn't grapple and look around at the same time. So it was like extra difficult. And it's because someone had like pushed the Windows key and it had made my mouse sensitivity also go through the charts.
Yeah. It was definitely buggy, but it was very cool and stylish.
Fun. It's fun.
I want to play this game on a controller. I'll be there day one. So it's kind of just a bummer that we all kind of had issues playing it. I believe our friend Tom that was
issues. It's really fun.
Yeah, our friend Tom that was with us really enjoyed it as well, and I believe he talked to the developers a little bit more than we kind of had a chance to, because I was with my daughter and she was like, "Can we go do this now?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So next I want to talk about Kunai, which is my game of the show. Like,
I don't think I saw that one.
It was kind of tucked away, like inside the Arcade Crew.emu booth that had Windjammers 2 and Streets of Rage 4.
Okay.
Like on the outsides of it. It was like on the inside of it. It's kind of like a U shape. It's a 2D Metroidvania, which that's one of my favorite genres. It's being made by Turtle Blaze and the Arcade Crew. It's releasing very soon on February 6th, 2020 for Switch and PC. I believe the other platforms are confirmed, but it's coming out first for PC and Switch. This became a day one purchase for me. I was interested in it. Honestly, kind of forgotten it existed until I saw it at the show, and then I played it and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, this looks awesome. Plays awesome. I guess the reason it was probably it's so close to release. Like, this was a very late build. You could tell the controls were tight, the jumping, the combat, the animations, everything was there. The coolest thing about the game, though, that I think will kind of help it stand out a little bit with other Metroidvanias, you have the titular kunai. You have one for your left hand, one for your right hand. They have ropes on them. You press the right trigger. He throws one up on the right side, pulls himself to that wall. You throw the left trigger, throw the left one, cling onto that side of the wall, and you can kind of climb up chasms and swing across things. And it really made the movement like fun and fluid. And I can't wait to see
a little Spider-Man-y.
Yeah, like speedrun stuff of it, because it really seemed like once you like master the physics and momentum and everything, like you can do crazy cool stuff. And it was a short demo. Like, you only really got the kunai and your weapon, and not really any of the other equipment that you're obviously going to be getting. Yeah, but that was my favorite game of the show. You didn't really get to play much, did you?
I didn't. I saw a few things.
Yeah. Did you play this at all, Jason?
Yeah, you saw me play through the full demo.
That's right. Yeah,
it's fun. It's Spider-Man 2D with robot face.
Yeah, but like a
cute robot.
Yeah, like it had all these like funny expressions. Like every movement you did had a like corresponding like facial expression that popped up on the like computer screen. Like face of the computer. I'm hyped for this game. Can't wait to play it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's very very close. So Streets of Rage 4.
I saw that one.
Being developed by Lizard Cube, .emu, Sega, Guard Crush. No release date yet. It's out. 2020 is the only really release date. PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, which I already said. So Switch and Switch.
They
Old school beat 'em up.
Like old school beat 'em ups like this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. The animation was fantastic. Ben and I played it. It was kind of awkward telling my 7-year-old, pick up that knife.
Pick it up.
Pick up the knife and use it. But yeah, it was fun. It wasn't like blood or anything, so But you're just beating up bad guys. But it was Streets of Rage. The music was awesome. The hand drawn like animation was fantastic. It's gonna be a fun game when it comes out. Hopefully there's some variety to it, but we'll see. That booth, the Arcade Crew.emu booth was my favorite booth there. Like I liked every game that I played. I got to play 3 of the 4 they were showing. Windjammers 2, it's coming out. It's being developed by .emu. No release date except 2020. It's coming out for Switch and Stadia. So probably just Switch. We'll see. Who knows if Stadia will even be around.
Is that gonna? Okay. Yeah.
It's Windjammers. It's like frisbee
hockey.
Yeah, like frisbee
Field
air
hockey.
hockey type thing. It's awesome.
Playing
Fun.
that one with you was the first time I played Windjammers.
Yeah, Windjammers is awesome. Like I love the original. I have it on my PS4. It's a good, just competitive 2-player, game.
It's kind of weird how that's like a
Fancy
relatively new game.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that should have come out like in the 80s.
It did. And Windjammers came out in the 80s. Windjammers 2 is like, or not the 80s. It came out like late 80s, early 90s on SNK, like Neo Geo. Arcade.
Neo Geo
Yeah,
arcade,
it's old. It's older, but like it's kind of had a resurgence in popularity recently. It's fun. Like
Pong.
It's very like simple to play and difficult to master, and there's a high skill ceiling, but you can still have fun just goofing around with it. So that's kind of like the deep dives I did for games, because a lot of my time was spent hanging out with the kids and buying stuff, and so didn't really have like press passes or anything like that to get appointments and cut lines and stuff like that. So
like I really wanted to play Secret Neighbor, but I didn't want to wait an hour and a half in line for that game.
Yep.
That was like the main event.
Yeah, Tiny Booth had a huge, not a tiny booth this year.
No.
Heyo.
It was the biggest
It was a carnival. The crane games were a hit with both my kids.
Softest carpet you'll ever feel in your life.
Yeah, it had really nice carpet.
There was allergens in it. That's what hit the baby at Sunday and went to leave early.
Awesome. But yeah, there was other games that I played and saw and enjoyed. Talked to the developers. Axe Cop was very cool, like a retro style game based off the comic book and TV show. Which, if you know Axe Cop, it's hilarious and awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like just RPG, like love letters and retro game love letter. You snowboard on an axe and all kinds of just crazy stuff. Kentucky Route Zero was there, the TV edition for that. Lily and I played that. I know very little about the game other than I've heard people rave about it, and it's not an action game by any means. Like it's very like mood and drawn out and a lot of mysteries. Like it's kind of creepy and cool, and I want to know what's going on now. So I might be checking that out if it drops on sale or anything. Lily, my daughter, also played a game called If Found, which was very artistic and cool looking. I didn't get to experience much of it, but I did watch her play it. It was like a visual novel about this woman who was stranded outside like a black hole on some planet, or but like like going through her life, and the main game mechanic is like erasing like entries in a journal and like going through your life as like I don't know. It was very artistic and looked awesome, but wasn't, something that I would kind of go out and go play.
Christopher Nolan-esque.
Yeah. Ultra Bugs was there again. That's being done by Flambeer. Cool retro arcade shooter. Awesome. Good fun. Just Shapes and Beats was there again. I love that game. I need to finally pick it up. They've been there every year, and it's so fun every time.
Play that game.
Yeah, it's so good. Just a fun kind of music rhythm.
Like a little
bullet
party
hell.
game
already, right?
Do what?
Is it out already?
Yes, came
Okay.
out I believe last year or the year before, somewhere in there.
Like a
There's
party game.
Yeah, there's a demo on Switch. Yeah, it's a good party game. Like you control a little shape and you dodge beats like it's a bullet hell rhythm game. It's awesome. Road Redemption. Jason got to play that one. I had played it a few years earlier, where I think like Shovel Knight was like one of the characters that you could use, or someone that looked like him. But yeah, it's Road Rash. Road Rash is back in the form
Yeah, it was
of
fun.
Road Redemption. It's been polished a whole lot more since I played it several years ago. There was a game called Foregone at one of the booths. I can't remember which one. Looked really cool. Reminded me a lot of Dead Cells in art style and gameplay. I'm not sure if it's a roguelike or anything, but that game caught my eye. I'll definitely be looking into that a little bit more. So another game that had a big presence there was Brawlhalla, which I've never played. I know Jason said he has, so if you want to talk about it a little bit.
That's
Uh,
there.
I downloaded it because they had such a big presence there, and like that game's way better than I expected it to be for being a free-to-play Smash Clone ripoff.
Cool. You downloaded on your
But-
Switch?
I downloaded it on Switch and PS4 because it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
It's-
I'll download it. I'll play.
That's like one of the
It's
few games like I play like every year.
Smash. It's
Yeah.
Smash, but it's simplified.
Right.
Cool.
And they got a lot of fun guest characters, like all the Shovel Knight characters are in it,
Do you have
all like the Steven Universe characters are in it, Adventure Time characters are in it.
Do you have to pay for the characters?
You have to pay for those premium skins, and
Okay.
you unlock the characters by playing overtime, or you can just spend $20 to get them all for free. Or not for free, but just spend $20 and you get all the characters. Or
Okay.
you can unlock them overtime by just
Okay.
playing.
Cool.
But the like guest characters like the Shovel Knight and all of them, Hellboy, those are all premium skins you have to buy.
Kind of figured. Cool.
Yeah.
Any other games?
Idle Champions for D&D had a fun little thing. I downloaded it on PS4. It's just like you watch idle characters beat up on stuff and then you level them up. But they had a fun thing where you were just painting pictures or coloring pages.
Cool.
Yeah, and Watam was there, which surprised me because I don't know if y'all know what Watam is.
Yeah.
But it's that.
It's done by the
Right.
guy who did Katamari, correct?
Yeah, they had a presence there, so that kind of
Mhm.
surprised me too.
They've been there the past 2 years, I believe.
Which one was that one?
Well, Tom, it's the weird looking shape, colorful. You would know it if you saw it. But yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's,
oh yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
it's
that was the
goofy.
guy?
cool. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up for video games. And that will lead us into the tabletop and RPG and pen and paper,
Card games.
card games, all those there, and pretty good presence compared to other trade shows. So it's kind of cool.
I feel like the percentages gone, like the games are shrinking and the tabletops are expanding on
Yeah,
at PAX.
yeah.
I would normally be like, oh, that sucks, but like that's kind of not the case because I've started getting into
yeah.
tabletops. So like, all right, bring it.
I mean, I think PAX South might have a thing to do with my perception of that. Where I see more and more of it and see how it's growing, so I look into it more and more. But
it's like in the, I don't want to say zeitgeist, but it's kind of in the zeitgeist, kind of like that, like D&D is, I guess, getting bigger.
Yeah, 5th edition has definitely helped them, as well as some
Badass
celebrities coming.
DMs.
Yeah,
Badass
celebrities.
DMs.
Yeah, celebrities coming out and saying how much they enjoy it, and Stranger Things.
Yeah,
helped.
that's probably a big chunk. Yeah.
So, what'd you see, Jason?
I saw a lot. Like y'all said, the video games are probably, what do you want to say, like 30%? And the tabletop is almost like 70% of it. It was a lot of tabletop.
Spreading out. Like,
I'd say like 60-40. Who knows? But
yeah, 60-40. It was a lot.
You didn't see like a lot of dice in the
on the
expo
show
that
floor,
much.
yeah, but like as a whole, like there was the console room upstairs, and
Yeah.
but
like
they also have that huge free play tabletop area. So yeah, it's almost 50. Like there's a lot of tabletop gaming, and there's a lot of good.
There's definitely a big switch in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to play a lot of the tabletop games because a lot of them are really hard to get a demo of, because these games aren't like a video game where you can just finish real quick. A lot of them, like, I'm always standing there trying to get a turn to play, and it's like, well, this isn't going to end for another 30 minutes. And I was there trying to ensure I was promoting us, so I couldn't just stand around.
Yep.
But I'm going to just shout out a lot of them that I did see and like, and we had a chance to play. We started off with LFF Super Show, which was a collectible card game pro wrestling matchup, which Ryan got to play a demo of, and that was fun.
It was really cool. Like it was fun. There's a good random element to it, so it's not pure skill, and you're able to have this deck that just crushes someone. You still have to, there's the ability for them to come back, and a lot of like very simple mechanics. So it's LFF, and that is the way the cards play. You have lead, follow, finish, which like the fact that that's like a big part of it helps that I thought it was going to be more complicated than it was when he was explaining it to me. But once I started playing, and that goes with a lot of these
that's like
tabletop
the whole
games.
Thing, yeah.
That's just how it always is.
But I mean, even with this one more so, when he was like explaining it to me, I was like, okay, yeah, and then we started playing, and I was like, oh yeah, and I squashed that dude.
You did. What was his name? Like Big Mouth Mary or something?
Oh no,
Big Loud Larry.
There you go. You just called him
Big Loud Larry.
Mouth Mary. Big Loud Larry. He was awesome. He was wearing like a purple suit and a giant purple cowboy hat, and they were like ringing the bell like when the matches started and finished for the demos. It was a really cool booth. It was a lot of fun. I know, Jason, you picked that up, so play some games with your wife and friends up there, and come back on the show and let us know.
I got
I'm
the
excited.
Luchador ones, so
sweet.
Yeah. We're going to talk about probably the game we all agree is the game of the show is Fire Tower.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so fun.
That was a really fun game.
I remember, like, I got there Saturday really early, and first thing I did is like, okay, well, I need to buy some dice. I went and bought some dice for my wife because she told me what kind she was kind of looking for. And right after that, right by the Dice Dungeons booth, which I'll talk about later, it was Fire Tower, and I'm like, oh, I'll try it since they are not busy right now. And it's a competitive card board game about spreading forest fires.
Yeah, it's kind of...
That's the best way to word it?
Bad timing, but yeah.
It's bad timing for that, but man.
God, it's fun. Like,
donate to charities that help Australia right now.
Yeah, you control, like, you change the direction of the wind through playing cards, and that spreads the fire in different directions. You can play cards that put fire down in certain areas and cards that get rid of fire in certain areas.
Block fire from spreading.
There's a social aspect of it to teaming up with someone to try to take someone out.
Oh yeah, they did that to me yesterday.
And even if you're knocked out of the game, you're still in the game.
Yeah, you come back as a vengeful spirit.
Yeah, they have 3 random cards. One of them y'all didn't get to play because it's they didn't have it on the show floor, but there's a card that causes a supreme wildfire where you roll the dice and you normally just get to put one piece of fire down each turn, but that puts like 10s to 15s of fire. And then they have the spirit card where they can like roll the dice 3 times and spread fire that way, or they can pick cards out of your hand and use those cards in however the way they want.
So there's still a way to win even though you're knocked out.
Yes.
It's like it's a ton of fun. Like, go get that game.
Yeah, it's sold out. I didn't get to get a copy, but I'm definitely buying one as soon as they get restocked. Because even they're out, like they said, their warehouse or whatever was out too, just because of, I guess, the word spread about that game during the spread like wildfire. Yeah, but yeah, Fire Tower. It is made by Runaway Parade Games, and play that.
Yeah, they took a picture of y'all's board because they said y'all had the most fire they've ever seen on a board.
Yeah, that game was fun.
Yeah. I also really like this card game, Exceed. Ryan knows that I'm a big fan of fighting games because I think I've mentioned in the past, and Exceed is a fighting game that is officially licensed by a lot of card fighting. It's like a card fighting game, I should say. And it's licensed by Capcom to use Street Fighter characters in it. It's got some guest characters, like there's the Dead Cells character is a card pack, and all the Shovel Knight characters are card packs. But basically it's set up like you're playing on a 2D fighting board, and your cards have like a certain amount of reach and a certain amount of speed and can knock people away or triple them like a real fighting game. So like the speed is technically like the frame rate data and the distance and all of that stuff, and they do certain damage, and after you like get a certain number of hits, then you're building up the special meter to do like a finishing move. Like, it's a lot of fun, especially as a person who really likes Street Fighter, and the game is based off of Street Fighter like concepts.
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't get a chance to play it, but it was awesome. You got me the Dead Cells character pack, so cool. That was awesome.
If anything, that's a collector's item right there.
Yeah,
because they sold out of a lot of that stuff too. Because I was trying to go back to get Grace the Chun-Li pack, and that was gone. Mainly because I wanted to play as Dan, though.
Yeah, dude. Dan's awesome.
And of course, they were handing out the local crack cocaine of free Magic the Gathering packs.
Yeah, we played a few hands of it, and I didn't buy anything else.
No.
So I'm not
there yet.
I got my fiction. Again, Magic the
Gathering. They weren't selling it there. They were just passing out the free stuff because they knew they were going to get you. I was walking through Target today, and I passed by, and I just looked, and I'm like, I don't need it.
No, dude,
I scratched my arm.
That's how you get it, dude. I got hooked so bad before. It's so fun, but it's so just time consuming.
That's how I feel about dice right now, though, because I went on a dice hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife spent $30 on dice.
Your wife's very frugal.
Yeah, well, I don't know about frugal, but she wouldn't spend $30 on dice.
Yeah.
One pair or multiple?
My wife had me buy her dice, and my wife is very, very frugal. I got her some of the, not like cheaper ones, but I guess they were the cheaper ones. But yeah, but they were very like nice. Like, she normally would just be like, I don't care, they're freaking dice. And she was like, try to find me like these colors. That was after we played D&D, because again, Jason, you're a fucking awesome DM.
You got us hooked. Like, I chose not to buy dice. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna save up, and I'm gonna get the dice.
Speaking of the dice, okay, I'm gonna go through some of the dice vendors they had there that I really liked. First off, Dice Dungeons. We already knew that we wanted to like go there right off the bat.
Yeah, that was one of the first places we went.
Research, and they have such good dice, and for the price that they're offering too.
Yeah, they were one of the more reasonable vendors of them, while still having good quality.
I also really like Norse Foundry, like not really for their dice, but more for the accessories. Like they have a dice rollers that also holds the dice on the side. Yeah. And that thing was really cool looking and pretty well priced. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to Sparkles the Dice Swan. Because you basically get a container and you scoop a random set of dice, and there's some good ones in there, and then there's like the dice that should be in a Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent $25 on that too.
Also, Drinks with Frenemies, I dropped by their booth, and that looks like a fun game. Sadly, there's a limited budget, so I wasn't able to pick it up. But I definitely want to pick it up at some point because it's a fun card drinking game that's kind of like Cards Against Humanity and all that kind of stuff, but more truth or dare kind of cards. Like there's different sets. Like there's a truth or dare thing where it's like, okay, truth or dare, and if you want to do dare, then it's like, okay, rub your bare bellies against each other for 15 seconds or take a drink.
Yeah.
Or last person to touch their forehead to the floor has to take a drink. Stuff like that. I mean, it's a fun game if you want to drink and play games.
Yes.
Lastly, Wormwood was there, which they're on a lot of the podcasts I listen to because these podcasts have already hit it big, so they have a lot of money. But Wormwood was there, and I was kind of surprised by that because they're the crazy tables and accessories for rich people.
Creme de la creme.
Yeah, the creme de la creme. They sell the $8,000 rotating tables and
I wouldn't say
accessories.
Like rich people, but like
not rich people,
like hardcore enthusiasts.
And there was also Level Up Dice, which Ryan and I kind of laughed at the presentation, but it makes sense because they set it up as a jewelry store. And I'm sitting here like, oh, that is set up very much like a jewelry store. Why? And then you go over there and they're selling dice that are made of gemstones. Like they have sapphire dice and ruby dice and obsidian dice and glass dice that have laser sketched numbers into them. So those were two that I kind of liked looking at, but I'm just like, maybe someday. Probably not.
Cool. So some of the other tabletop games that were there, I guess the main one that I checked out that you didn't see was Heroes of Levendale. It is a collectible card game that just kind of got started, and it's being made by a streamer and video game celebrity type guy named Parker. He has a show on Disney XD called Parker Plays. My son and my daughter, but mostly my son, are just huge fans. He watched that show so much, and I started watching it with him, and the guy's like real goofy and fun, like not 100% like my sense of humor, but still very funny. Really commits to the bits and is goofy and fun. And we went with my daughter on Saturday, and we met him, and he explained the game to us. We picked it up. We haven't had a chance to really play it yet, but we're gonna set up a game pretty soon to play. It's very like goofy, pun-based cards. Like you basically set up a suit of armor and weapons and stuff to like attack and defeat your opponent. And there's just like pieces of armor. There's one that's like Dragon Ball, but it's like BAWL, like, and it's like the helmet is like a dragon that's crying. Like it's just a lot of like dumb.
Oh, I get it.
There you go. Like dumb, goofy puns, and it was just a lot of fun. You can tell he put his heart into it. The coolest thing though was on Sunday, my son came with me, and he just loves that dude and that show, and you know the games that he plays, and met him, and as soon as he saw my son, he said, "Hey, do you watch Parker Plays?" And my son said, "Yeah." And he came around and gave him like this medieval gauntlet, and he helped him put it on and posed for pictures with him and talked about the games that he plays and what was his favorite part of the show, like game that he played, and was just very cool and interacted with him. And we need more guys like that, you know, in our hobby and in our
it's in our lives. Like,
yeah, it was very
spread,
wholesome,
like, fun
like,
and innocence.
Yeah, like maybe not, yeah. I mean, maybe not like innocence, but like yeah,
Wholesome
like
fun.
yeah, it was very like wholesome and fun and endearing. And yeah, that dude made, like, for me at least, I'm a fan of that guy for life now. Like you know, and I hope I believe my son is too now. He's it was awesome. It was one of the best parts of the whole experience for me of PAX South. probably out of all 6 years that I've gone, to be honest. But the game looks like a lot of fun. He put his heart and soul into it, so I'm excited to get to play it. I think Lily and I are going to try a game soon and then teach it to Ben.
That's sweet.
Yep.
Also, want to shout out there was no painting like I was promised. So
yeah,
nice
I'm
moment
sorry,
to angry moment. No, it's fine.
I was bummed.
It shrunk.
Yeah, I mean, but
things get axed like every
there was
year.
some good like the thing is there was more like
there was a lot of
stuff
dice
there too.
Oof, that's all I wanted was some good dice.
Yeah, there was a lot of dice. I got a nice set.
Like for being more tabletop, I'm surprised they got rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly why.
I know who it was. I looked it up in the past, and it's Reaper dice. It's Reaper paints, and they are actually Texas based.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a couple of the guys who ran the booth last year because they sell paints here in Dallas, and they're really good products. So
yep,
I told them they need to come back next year.
Did you ask them why they didn't go?
Money.
The flu? God damn it, that fucking flu.
No, it's money. Like they just like there's a limited number of booths, and they just skipped this year, and they'll be back next year probably.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that was a lot of fun last year with the kids, but
yeah,
I mean, we went and my daughter, I got her one of the Reaper like starter sets for her for Christmas this year as one of her gifts. So we actually went today and bought some minis from somewhere and started painting them up. So it was it was fun. Like so
I got y'all on that crack from that first game.
Yeah,
we're
ready for the next one.
Ready for the next hit.
Yep.
We got to find out how to do it. Okay.
Word. All right.
So Adrian, how about the music?
My favorite thing at PAX every year is the concert.
On Friday, correct?
On Friday. It's Fridays now. It used to be on Saturdays.
Yeah.
This year was the Mariachi Entertainment System, Super MES.
Yep.
It's like a mariachi band. They do a lot of covers.
So, Jason and I spoke with the flautist. Her name's Alana on Saturday after the show and had a really cool conversation with her about video game music and music as an education tool. So their hearts and souls are in it. So again, that's another thing, kind of like I was talking about with Parker, that's someone who's in this for the right reasons. They're passionate about it. Their heart and soul's into it. So they played an awesome set.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Gangplank Galleon,
Guile Stage.
Yeah.
That's weird because like when you hear these songs playing by the mariachi band, knowing what song it is like, oh, that's badass. They're playing that song. But like if they were to like be out in the streets in San Antonio playing the song, people would gather around and be like, oh, that's a great mariachi song. Like
yeah,
the Gerudo Valley song already like does so well transferring to that too.
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely. I think they played that last year.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's like so many songs, like so many Nintendo songs.
They closed with the Chrono Trigger theme, which bang, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's like it's just a ton of fun at that concert.
They're great. They're a great group and good people behind it.
A lot of fun. My personal favorite is Bit Brigade. This year they played the songs of Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 2, while one of their band members was speedrunning Mega Man 3.
Yeah.
So like he'd sit there and play the game, and they'd like play the background music of like Mega Man 3 games. And that second part, when they hit the Mega Man 2 bosses, like the clones, they'd play Mega Man 2 songs, and that's great. Like those two NES games are like probably the best songs in like all the NES library.
Capcom was just making such good music on the NES, like DuckTales.
Yeah. That was an awesome performance. I used to go to a lot of like metal shows and I'm starting to kind of get back into that, but like that performance, like live, just the combination of the actual like game being played and then them playing the backing track, but doing like a very like not necessarily metal, but like a very like hard rock version of that while they were doing it was just awesome. And then the dude is incredible. Like I remember looking at Adrian's brother when he was doing the disappearing platform section and just being like, this bullshit. Like, how is he doing this? Like,
my hands are like sweating because like I die like every time playing that stage.
Yeah, I die, dude.
I can't get that far.
Constantly in that game. But yeah, it was impressive and it was a lot of fun.
The crowd was into it.
Yeah.
Like, he did it flawlessly. He didn't die once.
Yep.
So like everyone was just going nuts.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And the drummer was sick. We found out.
Yeah.
We talked to the lead guitarist later. He said the drummer was sick, so he was kind of, I don't know, sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, they pulled it off. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he didn't mess up, but like you could tell he was struggling near the end, like just like
there are parts where they would like he would kind of take a pause and like let the game kind of just gamer would like sit there for a while
and let him have
the
like a breather.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was by no means affected the performance. I don't want it to give that impression.
If anything, it's even better that he could.
Yeah, it's even better. Like they stuck
like,
with it. And
he was it was badass. I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Bit Brigade, and 2 years ago they did the same thing with Zelda, and that was amazing. They played like different Zelda games, and the same guy was speedrunning Zelda, the NES version.
Yeah.
Flawlessly as well.
Yeah.
Jason, they'll actually be up there tomorrow night. I know you missed the show here, but they'll be up there in Deep Ellum tomorrow night.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, as of us recording this, not tomorrow night when you are listening to this.
Yeah.
They're long gone because I edit slowly sometimes. So
they'll be there.
Thanks for telling me late.
3 or 4 days ago.
Oh wait.
Jason.
Yeah, that was like the main thing. There was bands up in the jam room. Bitforce and Super Soul Brothers weren't there this year. Last year, Night of the Round played the concert, and I absolutely loved them.
Mega Ran's usually there.
Yeah, Mega Ran wasn't there this year. Like I said, it was a different year for it. I still had a blast. Still enjoyed everything I saw and played. I did miss some of the stuff that wasn't there, but again, it's
evolving.
Yeah, it's changing up. I also want to give a big shout out to my friends Matt and Kat. I only see them like usually like once a year and at PAX, but like that whole weekend we're like just real close. Same thing with my friend Tom. We haven't seen each other as much lately, but it's like that's part of it for me is like spending time like with my hobby and stuff with like people that maybe not 100% the same, opinions on this, but like we still love it the same. And you just show it in like different ways, different genres and stuff, but we still celebrate all of it together.
Shoot, I haven't seen you since my wedding.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it's this camaraderie, and
this weekend was like the first time like the 3 of us were actually in the same room together,
same zip code,
right?
Well, at least since we started this, but yeah, it's been. That's the thing, man. Like it's all about love and community and respect and genuine passion about
acceptance. That's what I was telling my wife is that I was like telling her like it's different whenever you're there because she was mentioning how she feel like she might be like a little alienated while there because she's not into that board game. She's not into the nerd stuff. And I told her, I'm like, if that's not what you're into, like they have something you'll be into there.
And this was my first time that my wife
up something like that and then go to the table and meet other people who are interested in that side kind of thing.
Exactly. Like they have panels about like integrating video games into the classroom.
There were so many panels I wanted to go see too, and I just forgot panels even existed. Like there's just so much to do.
Running around the show floor.
The Xavier Woods panel was really good, though.
The up, down, down. Yeah, that dude is charismatic as fuck.
Yeah, that was.
Well, yeah, you gotta be whenever you're a wrestler, though.
But I mean, like that dude just
you're either charismatic or
that.
intimidating,
and also
no one can avoid you.
Yeah,
that guy is
and he loves
so
his
good at Mario Kart.
Yeah, and he was wrecking dudes. He eventually messed up and shut it off, but he's legit. Like he knows his games. He loves them. Like it's not just like a shtick. But that's
he's not a wrestler that plays games. He's a gamer that wrestles.
Yeah, well, he's both, man. But anyways, yeah, he had a great panel. But I want to jump back to kind of what we were saying, and Adrian said acceptance. That's a huge thing at PAX. LGBTQ, disabilities.
I actually got to talk to a few of the people from Gamers, and they're really nice people.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's a very like inclusive, and it brings everyone together, and we're not thinking about the things that divide us. We're there for the thing that unites us, and that's games and all that in school. I got to meet Broly Legs. I think Jason who was there with me. I think it was you were there with me, right, yeah. Jason?
Yeah.
I meet Broly Legs, dude. He's a handicapped. I don't want to say handicapped. He's but anyways,
I met him last year.
Yeah, he plays Street Fighter like with his face, and he just bodies fools, dude. It was so cool to meet him because I used to play video games with my cousin, and he passed away last year from muscular dystrophy. But we used to play games together so much, and like telling my cousin about him, and there kind of being this person that he could kind of look up to. Unfortunately, his condition had gotten bad enough to where he wasn't able to use an adaptive controller or anything, but even that hope like connected us again, where we were like talking about Diddy Kong Racing and how amazing that was playing that together and everything. So again, it's an inclusive, like there's a spirit behind it that I love, and I'll go every year, and I still want to try to go to like PAX East or PAX Prime or
PAX Melbourne.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go to Australia, dude. There's spiders. But yeah, so I think that about wraps up PAX South. I think that's a good place to leave it on. So, like I said, I plan on editing and maybe episodically releasing our D&D our D&D recordings as a special edition. Next Gen Retroman podcast.
Rated R version, probably.
Yeah, there's some F words. Yeah, and my daughter was there. I know. She's 15, but whatever. She goes to public school.
Rated R for violence. Goodness. Y'all were brutal.
Dude, Lily was like almost more violent than I was. Anyways.
Shoot.
I don't want to like give out
anything.
Spoilers or anything about it, but yeah, man, we had some pretty awesome orc and goblin kills. But yeah, so did you go to PAX South? Did you enjoy it? Just reach out to us. You can email us at nextgenretromen@gmail.com.
Instagram at nextgenretromen.
Twitter at nextgenretromen, and facebook.com/nextgenretromen.
So yeah, I'm excited for PAX South next year already.
Should we try a PAX East or West?
Dude, those are expensive and the tickets sell super quick. But,
all right, fuck it. PAX South.
Yeah, we're going to try to maybe go to some other conventions locally and go there. I think Classic Games Fest will probably be one of the easier ones for us to figure something out. So we'll share news. Yeah, we'll share news about that as it comes up and comes closer and we make some plans. But in the meantime, keep playing games. Keep sharing games with your friends and families, and
have fun.
We'll see you next time. Later. That was wholesome as fuck.
Oh no. Goodness.